Let me first introduce the main speaker of the day, Mr. Irfan Kazi. Irfan leads the investment team and is a financial professional with 25 years of international work experience. He is the chief investment officer of Swami Fund, and he is the main anchor who has been making efforts in reaching out to members from the real estate development community on raising awareness around this fund and also clear any queries slash doubts that you guys have. So Irfan, welcome. Let me also introduce you to Irfan, our Vice President, Mr. Narendra Kumar. He is the CREDAI Vice President from the Eastern Zone. We also have Mr. Manikant, who is the current President of our Bihar State Chapter, and the incoming State President, Mr. Sachin Chandra, is also on the call. So we have the senior office bearers of the Bihar Chapter also. So I welcome all the other developers also. Now over to you, Irfan.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everybody. The objective, as Hari mentioned, is to try and introduce the fund in as much detail as possible. And I'll do that, if you give me about 10-15 minutes of your time, I will just go over the entire investment mandate and so on. And then deal with ground level realities or questions on, how to apply, how long does it take to process, whatever other questions you have. The objective being that this is a large fund. It is already doing a large number of deals. So we've raised about 10,000 crores. We've already committed more than half of the fund. We have already given approvals to a large number of deals. So that's the good part of the story. The unfortunate part of the story is that we have got very few applications from Bihar. And therefore, we think that this is a significant opportunity that should not pass the developer community, should not bypass the developer community from Bihar. They need to also take advantage of a construction-focused fund only that is actually reaching out to investors. So it is not like any other private equity fund which is focused only on, let's say, Mumbai and Pune and Bangalore. We are doing deals across all cities. We have already done about 25 deals in tier 2 cities across India. And by tier 2, I only refer mean cities other than the top 7 or 8 cities in India. So we've done a significant number of deals, and there is no reason why we shouldn't. So what I want to do in the next 10-15 minutes is clear some misconceptions and generally provide as much clarification, as much information about the fund as it's possible. And I'll take as many questions as you have. I hope you can. My understanding is that the people on this call are leading developers in Bihar. I also hope that you can spread this message out to other members of your fraternity. Hari, I think this call is being recorded, preferably recorded without a password, so that recording can be circulated to other developers, emailed or WhatsApped to other developers in your social media groups, so that they all come to know about it. So let me just start, right? Let me just tell you very, very briefly about the history and then what the fund is. So this fund was launched about a year, maybe about 15 months ago. This fund was announced by the Honorable Finance Minister on November 6th. The fund did a first closure on December 6th. That means we raised 10,000 crores and we started functioning. We were a small team then, and I'll tell you, we were only about 2 people then. We are now almost 38 people. So we have grown very large in size. We are processing a large number of applications. We would have looked at more than 1,000 plus applications. And so what does this fund do? The Swami Fund, and Swami is an interesting acronym only for Special Window for Affordable and Mid-Income Housing. This is a fund that is focused on completion of construction of affordable and mid-income housing projects. And I'll define each of these terms as we go along. So specifically one, the fund is for stressed and stalled projects. The fund is not only for what is colloquially referred to as stuck projects. So it does not mean that a project has to be stuck or stalled and there has to be no activity for the last 3-4 years for the project to qualify. If the project is in difficulty or if the project is going to experience difficulty going ahead, and how do you define difficulty? Primarily in terms of cash flows. So if your collections are, let's say, 2 crores a quarter, and you require about 10 crores a quarter to complete the project in the next 3 years, then clearly your project is in difficulty, whether that difficulty has resulted in an immediate problem or not. So whenever there's a stress in the project and there's a stress in terms of cash flows, inflows aren't sufficient, where inflows are barely sufficient to meet interest payments, for example, and there is a principal payment coming up, where inflows are barely enough to meet the construction requirements, and there's a land payment coming up, right? Those are impending difficulties, and you can approach us for funding to tide over that crisis, to ensure that your project does not get significantly delayed going ahead. So this is a project for stressed as well as stalled funds. So even if the project is in a lot of difficulty, come to us. Even if the project has defaulted, with banks and other financial institutions, you can come to us. Even if the project is going through bankruptcy proceedings, you can come to us and we can do the funding, right? So it is never too late to approach the fund, and it's never too early either. When there is a pending crisis, don't wait for the crisis to take over the project. Come to us, we can provide the funding for the project. So that's very important, because there is an understanding that this is only for projects which are severely stalled. No, it is for projects which might get stalled, which are facing cash crisis, and it is for projects which are stalled, for several years, projects which are under litigation, projects which are NPAs, projects which are under NCLT, and so on, right? So that's very clear. Second, this is a fund to complete construction only for affordable and mid-income projects. And how do you define affordable and mid-income housing? Housing which is less than 200 square meters RERA carpet area. And you'll agree that is a very generous definition. 200 square meters of RERA carpet area means a sellable area in most places of above 3,000 square meters. Sorry, square feet, not meters, square feet, right? Which is a very generous size, and subject to a price cap. So the price cap applicable to Bihar is 1 crore. So any project which is developing housing costing less than 1 crore, right, can approach us. And it is possible that in a project there would be some apartments which are greater than 1 crore. There are some square footage in the project which has been dedicated to commercial. Even then you can come to us, as long as let's say about 85-90% of the total project is affordable and mid-income housing, which means housing less than 1 crore, we can do it. So that's one. It is not just for apartments, it is also for plotted developments. So as long as the cost of the land and the permissible built-up area on it is less than 1 crore, we can look at it, right? So that's about affordable and mid-income housing. The project has to be net worth positive, and this is a very important criteria. So if you can bear with me here, I'll just get into a little bit of detail. It simply means that the project must be profitable today. It does not mean that the project has to take care of all the past lending. It means that the cost to complete from today onwards should be less than the value of the inventory and the receivables in it. So if the cash generation, if the fund generation from the project, from sale of inventory and from receivables, is greater than the cost to complete, that project is profitable and that project can come to us. We are not talking of the burden of the past. We are not talking of how much loans it has, etc., etc. As long as it's profitable in terms of cost to be incurred going ahead and income to be generated going ahead, we can look at it. So the only reason is that this is a fund. This takes an investment position. This does an investment. It does not provide assistance. It does not provide a grant or anything like that. So that's why we need to invest only in profitable projects. So that's very important. Another feature of this funding is this is last mile funding for construction only. So let me just mention that very clearly. This funding is for construction only. What is construction? Any payment which is payment other than payment for interest, payment for principal, payment for any bank liability, that is called a construction funding. So it can be used for land payments. It can be used for payments of various FSI to be purchased. It can be used for payments of marketing, brokerage, architect's fees, any kind of project related payments other than repayment of financial liabilities. So this funding cannot be used to repay the promoter. This funding cannot be used to repay unsecured loans in the project. This funding cannot be used to repay banks or NBFCs that have provided funding in the project. So this is a funding for construction only. Then this is last mile funding. And what do we mean by last mile funding? When you come to us, we will assess your funding requirements as if sales are unlikely to occur, as if collections are going to be difficult to achieve, right? And then take care of the entire funding that is required to complete the project, right? When you come to us and let's say 50 crores is required to complete the project, we will not say that you have inventory of you'll have sales of maybe around 20 crores, you'll have collections of about 10 crores, so all you need is about 20 crores. When you come to us and we see that 50 crores is required to complete the project, we will try and sanction maybe 45 to 50 crores to complete the project, right? And it's possible that you will not need the entire amount, which is okay with us. There is no commitment fee or processing fee or anything like that. So we will provide you the entire funding, which we call the last mile funding, to complete the project. And another feature about last mile is, when we call it last mile funding, we are not talking of new projects. So we do not provide funding for new projects. We provide funding for projects which are at least 30% completed. And how do you measure the 30% completion? Simply by measuring the cost incurred in the project. It is not like 3 slabs out of 10 are completed, because there is land payment to be done and others, etc. So we measure completion in terms of cost incurred. So if the cost incurred is more than 30% in any project, right, we can fund the project. That project is 30% complete. Now, in India, a lot of the construction funding, especially in the initial stages, also happens in the form of barter, right? So the construction contractor gets 5 apartments, does construction to the extent of the value of those 5 apartments, etc. And we are okay with that. We will look at the barter value also. We will look at how much the creditors have funded the construction also. Trade creditors have funded the construction, right? So all that is okay as long as 30% of the project cost has been incurred, regardless of whether it has been paid or not. That is funding. That is, the project is 30% complete. We can do the funding, right? Just one last bit which is important here is, the project has to be RERA registered. If it's not RERA registered, you can still come to us. But before our funding comes into the project has to get a RERA registration. So, you have to apply for RERA registration when you come to us and get the RERA registration before the project is, before our actual disbursements start. And I think I mentioned this earlier as well. We can look at projects which are, standard assets with banks. We can look at projects which are NPAs with banks. We can look at projects which are, going through litigations, which are going through IBC proceedings, etc. The fund is, encourages, the fund wants to look at such projects because, usually in such projects, because of the dated and checkered history, there are a significant number of home buyers that are trapped in the project, right? So that's about the investment mandate of the project. The project has to meet such criteria before when it comes to us. And what kind of funding do we do? So we do funding in the form of NCDs, and therefore we can fund only private limited companies. There is a move now to amend the act, and therefore LLPs will also be allowed to issue NCDs. And when that happens, we can fund LLPs as well. But for now, we can fund only private limited companies. If the project is in a partnership, that is okay. We are also doing a lot of funding of such projects. While we do the processing, while we do the diligence, we require that the developer convert the partnership firm to a private limited company, right? So we can save on time. If there are costs involved, we will fund those costs, right? Those costs will be a part of the project cost. So we will take care of both the time and the cost element in those cases. Our funding is in the form of NCDs, which is basically like a loan, but in the form of a security. And our funding is focused on construction. And this is not just talk. We also walk the talk. We are very clear that no payments, no coupon payments, no quarterly payments, no monthly payments are required to be done to service any interest or principal for the funding we give. Not till the project is completed. So all the funding is only used for project construction. Even if you have inflows in the project, like let's say you have some sales, you have some receivables, all of it is actually pumped back into the project for construction only. So we will emphasize that all the money that we give, all the money that you receive from any source like new sales or collections are used for construction only, right? And it's only after construction is complete, then you start repaying us with any additional collections. And all this funding happens at a 12% IRR. So in case the IRR concept is not clear, understand it roughly as about 11.5% funding. So funding at about 11.5% is what we do. The funding is back-ended. Initially, it is to be used for construction only. It's only after the construction is complete that you need to start repaying us. There is no fixed repayment obligation on the fund. We do 2 or 3 things that are different from other lenders, right? One, when we give you funding, it is not a lump sum transfer that happens. We provide reimbursement against expenses incurred at the site, so that all our funding is used for construction only. It is not used for anything else. We have controls in place. So for example, we have a PMC, a project management company, which appoints a representative who's there at the site. He gives us daily reports on the progress in construction, on material movements, on labor deployment, and so on. Based on that, we will clear any bills you raise. And even in in projects where we've done 50 to 100 crore plus of funding, we will clear bills of 50 lakhs and 1 crore and 2 crores, and we'll clear your bills every week, twice a week if required, and so on. So that the funding goes only for construction expenses incurred. It will not be to build a petty cash at the site. It will not be to have a provision for expenses going ahead. It will be a funding for expenses actually incurred, right? So very clearly on that. Second, I already mentioned that we will have a PMC representative who will be deployed at the site, who will help us verify your bills, and we will do funding immediately. And I think that's that in terms of a brief about our fund. What we have seen is over the past 1 year and 3 months or so, about 15 months, we have done a significant number of deals already. So it is not that baat kar rahe, announcement kar rahe. The project is, the fund is up and running. We have provided a final approval to 55 projects. We have provided a preliminary approval to about 109 projects. Between these two, they will complete about 1 lakh homes. That's a significant number to achieve in 1 year. So 1 lakh homes will get completed when we provide funding for all these companies. In fact, the companies that we've provided final approval for will itself complete about 36,000 homes. And what is this final and prelim? We have a two-stage approval process. When you come to us, we first give you a preliminary approval. Then we do an external due diligence. So all the numbers, all the facts are checked by external agencies. And then we give a final approval. And then we do the disbursement. So that's where we are. We have done deals across the country. We can do deals across sizes. So I think the smallest deal we've done so far is about 10 crores. The biggest deal we've done so far is about 395 crores. So that's the range, between 10 and 400 crores that we can do. It's a vast range. We have done deals across India. So we've done deals in several tier 2 cities. I think we've done about 25 plus deals already in small towns and cities. So this is not a fund which says that we will not do deals in tier 2 cities or anything like that. So with that, I'll take as many questions as you'll want to answer. Just one more bit, that the fund investment decisions are actually taken by an independent investment committee. It is not taken by the investors. The government is the largest investor and the sponsor of this fund. SBI Cap Ventures is the investment manager to this fund. But the investment decision is taken by an independent investment committee. And therefore, and that committee meets almost 1 to 2 times a week. Therefore, the time taken for us to internally approve a deal is very short. The total time that it will take a deal to get approval will vary. It will depend on whether you have existing lenders or not, whether all your approvals are in place or not, whether you have your accounts are already audited or not. Depending on that, the approval time for any deal can be as short as 1 month and could, take 8 months even in some cases, because, the company has no financial records, the company has no approvals, environmental approvals have lapsed 4 or 5 years ago, environmental approval is not there, and, a lot of construction has already happened. So all those need to be corrected, right? And that's that. Just how do you apply to us, right? So our website, sbicapventures.com, we have updated our website so that anyone can approach us through our website. We have a detailed FAQ there, frequently asked questions, which gives all these details, everything that I spoke for in the last 10-15 minutes or so is mentioned on that website. You can go through the questions. There is an application form there. There is an email address given there. Write to us with that application form and using that email ID. And then, as soon as you write to us, someone from our team will get in touch with you and start discussing project details. So with that, I'll leave the floor to questions. Any questions that, you have, any doubts that you have, please ask me. I would be only too happy to respond. Thank you. Thank you, Hari.
So anybody has any queries, you may feel free to ask now.
Bhavesh Kumar.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. Just I wanted to know exactly if there is a project which has been delayed long, but the structure part is complete and the finishing part still remains unsold. Nothing has been sold in that project. It's a small project having only 50 flats within the range of this affordable housing. Okay. So can that be funded?
Sir, everything you said sounded correct. But the fact that there are no sales at all means that we cannot fund it. Because the fund is here to rescue home buyers. If there are no home buyers in the project, we cannot fund it. If the construction of the RCC structure is complete, only finishing is required, we can fund it.
Okay.
If it's a small project, we can fund it. But if there are no home buyers, we cannot fund it.
If there happens to be 2-3 buyers who are actually approaching, thing is that we have not sold it. Actually, we wanted to sell it after completion. Somehow our fund got stuck up, so this project is now delayed.
Yes, sir. So we cannot actually. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, in every project we try and see how many home buyers are there in each of the buildings. So even if your project has 3 buildings where there are 2 buildings have been launched and sold, right? And there are home buyers only in 2 buildings and not in the 3rd building, we will do construction only of the first 2 buildings. So the fund has been launched to rescue home buyers.
What is the percentage of actually sell in a project that you take into account?
So there is no strict rule there. We do a judgment call. So if it's a rehab project, so we look at, how many rehab tenants are there, and then we look at how many sale tenants are there. And if it's roughly, let's say about 15-20% also, we are willing to look at it.
15 to 20%.
Yeah.
So.
Is it only for housing project or
Plotted development also?
So it is for plotted developments also. For plotted developments also, the same criteria apply.
no, only for commercial?
No, it is not for commercial or for high-end apartments.
Yeah, I am Sachin Chandra. I just wanted to you explained the whole issue in a very clear manner. One thing that I wanted to understand, there are lots of projects, commercial projects in NCR where 10% of the FSI is residential. And in that residential portion, there might be some projects which are stuck up because of the financial issues. So are we inclined to consider those projects which have a 10% FSI of residential and rest of the 90% FSI is commercial? will the due diligence cater to such projects also, or what is the opinion?
So honestly, we've not seen such projects, but when we are looking at a project,
Yeah.
we are allowed to isolate and look at only the residential portion. So if
Correct.
only the residential portion is large enough, right, we can look at it. We will not look at the commercial portion or the rest of this, but we should be able to complete the residential portion will be our only insistence.
So yeah, I mean, when we say that largely residential project, I think such commercial projects or IT parks which have 10% or 5% FSI in residential, I think they may not be covered under the definition of Swami.
No, so it depends, right? If the cost to complete, let's say the residential portion only,
Yeah.
where there are stuck home buyers and it meets all our other norms, is let's say 15 crores plus, then we can look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
हाँ मिस्टर इरफान,
Yeah.
आई एम मणिकांत।
Hello.
हाँ, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट जो स्ट्रेस में है,
मणिकांत जी, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, थोड़ा आप रिपीट करेंगे क्वेश्चन?
He went offline, I think.
Manikant.
We have, I think Manikant's connection has been lost.
हेलो
Yeah.
हेलो,
मणिकांत जी, आप अपना क्वेश्चन रिपीट कीजिए प्लीज।
अच्छा, मैं ये कह रहा था कि जैसे कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट जब स्ट्रेस में आ जाता है तो उसकी ऑब्वियस है कि उसकी जो मैप सैंक्शन किए करवाया था उसकी डेट भी खत्म हो गई है, उसका मतलब वैलिडिटी खत्म हो गई है, प्लस रेरा का जो रजिस्ट्रेशन था उसके अंदर जो एक्सटेंशन मिलते हैं दो, वो दोनों एक्सटेंशन भी उसको मिल चुके हैं। अब तीसरा एक्सटेंशन उसको मिल नहीं सकता है। मैप अप्रूवल भी उसका टाइम लैप्स कर गया है, मतलब वो उसकी वैलिडिटी खत्म हो गई है। वैसे प्रोजेक्ट्स को आप कैसे फाइनेंस करेंगे, कैसे
Sir,
फंड करेंगे?
we are already looking at such projects. ऐसे projects को हम लोग देख रहे हैं। ऐसे बहुत से projects हैं जहां map के approval maps have expired. There are land payments to be done. RERA registration has expired. ये तीनों हो गए, right? And we can still look at it. We will find a way out to this के पहले हम लोग कौन सी payment अगर land payment कर सके, if we can get the maps approved, if we can talk to the RERA authorities and get provisional registration, वो सब किया जा सकता है. This is a government sponsored fund, so we also reach out to the authorities to help us find a solution to it.
नहीं, अभी ऐसा है कि मैं कुछ ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं हमारे पटना में जिनको मैं जानता हूं, जो मैं अभी बिल्कुल बायर के तरफ से बात कर रहा हूं, मैं अभी एज ए डेवलपर बात नहीं कर रहा। हमारा भी ये मकसद रहता है कि हम कि जो भी प्रोजेक्ट फंस गए हैं, जिसमें काफी लोग फंसे हुए हैं, वो किसी तरह से उसमें से निकल जाएं, उबर जाएं। तो उसके लिए ऐसा है कि हमारे यहाँ पे कन्वर्जन पे जमीन, मतलब जिसको बोलते हैं कोलैबोरेशन वाला एग्रीमेंट होता है, तो लैंड का पेमेंट नहीं बाकी है, बट कोलैबोरेशन एग्रीमेंट है, तो उसमें जो लैंड ओनर है उनसे भी कुछ इश्यूज हैं। तो क्या ये सब चीज रिजॉल्व हो सकती है, क्योंकि
Sir,
काफी बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं?
So when it comes to statutory approvals, we can try and find a way out. But if it's a legal risk, if it's a litigation risk, it's a commercial disagreement, right? वहां पर हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते।
Sorry. नहीं, वैसा कुछ भी नहीं है, बट आप कहाँ तक मदद कर सकते हो? अगर वो जो लैंड ओनर है वो भी तैयार हो जाएंगे, अगर उनको ये लगेगा कि ये प्रोजेक्ट गो थ्रू हो जाएगा,
तो हम लोग डेफिनेटली देख सकते हैं। हम लोग डेफिनेटली सिर्फ देख नहीं सकते, हम लोग ऐसे बहुत से प्रोजेक्ट्स देख रहे हैं। वी आर डूइंग सच ऐसे बहुत से प्रोजेक्ट्स कर रहे हैं
तो लोकल
काफी
लेवल
सालों
पे हम
से
लोग
स्टॉल्ड है। सेल्स भी नहीं हुए 2-3 सालों से, सब अप्रूवल्स एक्सपायर हुए, पेमेंट्स आर रिक्वायर्ड टू बी डन टू रिन्यू द अप्रूवल्स, रेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन हैज आल्सो एक्सपायर्ड। वी कैन लुक एट ऑल दिस।
तो यहाँ लोकली हम लोग किससे कांटेक्ट करें?
या वी डोंट हैव एनी लोकल टीम। जैसा मैंने आपको कहा, आप हमारे वेबसाइट पर जाइए, sbicapventures.com। वेबसाइट में FAQ सेक्शन है, फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस। वहां पर आपको हमारी फंडिंग के बारे में सब आपके सब क्वेश्चंस आंसर हो जाएंगे। और वहां पर एक एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भी है और ईमेल आईडी भी है। तो वो
लेकिन
छोटा सा
आपको
एक
पता है
फॉर्म है।
इरफान जी के ना, जो ये सब चीजें, मतलब जो आदमी ऑलरेडी पहले ही परेशान है, वो
हम्म।
इतनी, कोई आदमी डायरेक्ट टच में नहीं आ सकता, कोई ऐसा ऑफिस नहीं है आपका, चाहे दिल्ली में हो चाहे कहीं
तो
मुंबई
एक बार आप हमें अगर एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भेजेंगे,
में?
राइट, फिर हम लोग आप के साथ टच में आएंगे, फिर हम क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे आपको और इंफॉर्मेशन मांगेंगे और वो सब।
ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस प्लीज? किसी और के कोई सवाल है? So Irfan, so what, as I told you, we've been doing survey in, we've collected a lot of data from members who have applied for Swami Fund. The majority of members have queries and complaints regarding the, disbursal after the final approval is accorded,
Yeah.
So what is the time gap between prelim and the final approval, and after the final approval, how long will it take the fund to be disbursed?
So see, we have no control.
Okay.
We have no control on the time gap in a deal.
Hmm.
We have control on how soon can we take it to the IC.
Okay.
And we have an IC meeting every week.
Okay.
So the maximum delay that can happen is, there are too many proposals in this IC and therefore it goes to the next IC, which means a week's delay. That is the maximum delay possible from our side. But between prelim and final, due diligence hota hai.
Yeah.
Due diligence ke liye questions are asked by the agency and answers are given by the company. If company does not give answers, or if company takes time to give answers, or in most cases company does not have the answers, they have to find the answers, etc. That's a timeline over which we have no control.
Okay.
Second bit is, even after a final approval, there are some CPs, condition precedent, some things to be done before we can do disbursement. So, for example, a RERA registration has lapsed, RERA registration has to be renewed. So this is between the company and the RERA authority. हम लोग उसके बारे में ज्यादा कर नहीं सकते, but we will help the company. But जब तक वो approval आएगा नहीं, तब तक हम funding नहीं कर सकते. We've also given approvals to companies which have not got environmental clearance in place, right? So while our documentation is complete, our final approval is in place, जब तक वो EC approval नहीं आएगा, तब तक हम लोग funding नहीं कर सकते. So that timeline will be there. That is not a timeline in our control at all.
Okay. So another generic question would be, till which date can the developers apply for Swami Fund? Is there any deadline as such as of now, or there is no deadline?
No, the deadline only comes from how much money do we have,
Okay.
right? So it's a window, but it's not a very small window. The government has initially, this fund is a 10,000 crore fund. We have already given final approval to about 5,000, 6,000 crores. We are looking at a large number of deals. And therefore, that's the only thing, nothing else. There is no, this, by March 31st karna chahiye, or, by Feb 28th hona chahiye, or anything like that. No timeline like that.
Okay.
We will continue to look at deals.
So, sirs, I hope that you guys don't have any more additional questions for Irfan. किसी को और कोई सवाल है तो पूछ लीजिए, नहीं तो we can actually wind up the session. Pranay, can we wind up the session?
I think Hari, we can wind up the session because
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Irfan presented it in a very good manner, and most of the questions.
So Irfan, I think that now we can wind up.
Sure.
So as you suggested, we'll share this recording with all the other members of the Bihar state, and see if there are any other queries that come, and I can keep collating them and share with you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Irfan.
Thank you,
you,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye.